Hey, what's up guys? My name is Moda and welcome back to the Mining Stacker YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be for the 7 of you who are still into Helium. We do have a pretty big update for those of you Helium subscribers who are doing the discovery mapping. They did kind of change the system and there are a couple of issues. We're going to talk about them, some quick fixes just to get you going, just to make sure you can keep earning those rewards, right? So if that sounds good guys, stay tuned. Let's get to this thing. So they did have a pretty significant update on their app today. This is for all you Helium mobile subscribers. This is that discovery mapping feature that allows you to earn mobile tokens, right? So I know some of you guys are literally just subscribed just to earn the tokens, and yes, it is worth it still, right? You are still earning more mobile tokens by doing it this way than just buying it outright. So it's a pretty good feature. But let's talk about the updates. You can kind of see here on the screen here, this is the new interface now. So the biggest change is that it's not based on mapping events anymore, right? Because before you see your thing and you have freaking thousands of events, it's going to be based on the amount of hexes that you are covering. So you now need to cover 40 hexes, right? We'll get to it here in a second. So it is kind of cool, right? You can see the little thing here. You can see which ones are eligible, ineligible. There's a couple of reasons why they could be ineligible. You can kind of see it in the background here actually. But the key thing is you got to hit your 40 so you can get your rewards for the day, right? So pretty cool there. It's going to be pretty clear, pretty clear to be able to qualify to make sure you know you're getting your rewards for the day, right? So as we go down, you can see here. So the big part of the reason they're doing it is for gaming, right? A lot of people gaming the system. A lot of these hips that are in the process of being voted on now and are ongoing are to start curbing this, right? Because there are a lot of people, especially early on, who have been gaming the system, right? Especially this system, because it was extremely lucrative, especially early on, right? So a lot of people started early on and they just continued because it still is fairly lucrative, right? But not like what it was in the beginning, right? Shout out to all the beta testers who've been here since the beginning. Back when we were getting like 8,000 mobile a day. Yes, the rewards were that high. It's pretty crazy how much has dropped. But again, it's because, again, it's one big pool. The more people that jump on and subscribe, the lower it goes, right? Which it was totally expected, but there's a pretty big change. But as we go down, so the biggest thing is that now you're covering hexes instead of mapping events. You need to cover at least 40 hexes, right? So from the example they gave us here is for you to qualify, a hex is about the size of 2 basketball courts or 1 supermarket. If you lined up 40 hexes in a row, so if you lined them up in a straight line, it would be about the distance of a mile, right? So it's something that you can go for a walk, you can do whatever, or if you have it in your car while you're driving, that will also work. So it's pretty much the same thing. It's just gonna be a little different, right? So instead of having these crazy amount of events, so I'm not sure if it's going to continue. Maybe it'll hit your 4. It's probably going to continue actually, because realistically they want all the data they can get, right? But you need at least the minimum 40 in order to get your rewards, right? So one of the biggest changes in how they're going to kind of prevent people from gaming it, right? This is the anti-gaming feature in it. So there is going to be a cooldown period with those hexes that have already been mapped. Okay, it's going to be a 1 hour cooldown. So we'll read the little thing here. Once a subscriber maps a hex, that hex will enter a 1 hour cooldown period, meaning another subscriber cannot qualify for rewards using that hex until the cooldown period is over. So what they're trying to prevent here are the people who are literally walking around or driving around with like 20, 30, 40, 50 phones in their freaking car in order to gain these rewards. Okay, so in this case, they would have to still do it, right? Go in opposite directions, drive different areas. It's still going to be doable. It's just going to be a lot more work for them, right? It's not going to be as easy for those that were doing it. The downfall here is of those of you who were doing it, but not necessarily gaming the system, but let's say like your family. Let's say you guys went out to walk the dog. You have your phone, your wife's phone, and your kid's phone are all doing it. Now that may change things, right? It's hard to say what the limitation is. Is it going to be literally just one person? Like if the two of you go walking, let's say husband and wife go for a walk, are only one of you guys going to get the rewards? Is it going to stop after a certain amount? Not sure exactly what it is. But realistically, if you're driving around, it's going to be fairly easy to get it, right? So for example, you could either go for a walk for a mile or you can drive down the street essentially, right? So realistically, not that big of a deal unless you're a person who hardly ever gets out or you work from home, things of that sort. Like for me, it's not going to be an issue. I'm the only one who does it anyway, so it's not that big of a deal, but it's just going to depend on your own personal situation, right? So because of this, right, because again, like we mentioned, the rewards are all from one big pool. The more people who qualify for those rewards, the smaller everybody's distribution is, kind of similar to like with mining, difficulty, etc. This is going to probably change things, especially tomorrow. So don't be surprised if there is a nice little increase. Maybe it's only a few percent, but it's probably going to be somewhat of an increase for our rewards tomorrow because of this, right? So two things actually. One is because of this. The other is they are having issues with the app. Okay, so when I first updated my phone, it did not work. Okay, I updated it, had to retoggle, had to relog in. Actually, it logged me all the way out. Logged in, had to retoggle the discovery mapping feature, made sure all the permissions were there, which they were. And when I went to go drop off my son, came back, 0 hexes, went out for a walk, 0 hexes. Some few people did mention in the Discord to try deleting the cache, deleting the storage, uninstalling the app, and then reinstalling it. And that did it for me, right? So if any of you guys who are on Android, it is something you definitely want to try, especially if you catch it before the end of the epoch. There is still a little bit of time because chances are between the anti-gaming feature and the amount of issues with the app, tomorrow's yield might be good 10, 15, 20% better because of all the ongoing issues, right? Because again, if you don't meet the criteria, you're not going to get it. So it is a known issue. If you log into the app, you'll probably see it now, where a little bar on the top will say that it is a known issue. They are working on a fix. But again, what you can try doing is just making sure you go into those settings. So again, you're going to go, if you have an Android phone, go into your app settings, right? So go into your main settings. Let me change the camera here. So go into your main settings, go into the app section, right? You'll see it right there smack in the middle. My Helium Mobile is already at the top because I had just opened it. So once you're here, right, you're in the main page here. Let's see if it... Let me get my face out of that. There you go. Under storage and cache. You kind of see it right there in the middle. Right there is where you'll be able to clear the storage, clear the cache, so that way it'll delete all the memory issues that are there, just in case that was it. Like, I don't know what fixed it, if it's doing that or reinstalling it, but whatever it did fix it for me. So again, you want to do those things. Uninstall the app, reinstall the app, log back in, toggle that discovery mapping feature, and then make sure all those permissions are there. Okay, make sure you do give access for all of them, because you do need to have it essentially unrestricted so it can just run in the background and do its thing, right? So once you're in the app, you're here, go to the permissions, make sure they are all set up, right? So like your location, make sure it's allowed all the time, make sure your physical activity is on, and then make sure you don't have any like power restrictions, right? If you have any settings of that sort, make sure those are all essentially all unrestricted. That way you can get your rewards. So again, by doing that, I just went to go pick up my son, came back, and my 40 were done, right? So that did fix it for me. May not fix it for everybody. Again, it is an ongoing issue with a variety of phones. They are working on it. They will release an update. So check it. If it's not working today, you don't get it, your rewards today, make sure tomorrow you check to see if they did release an update, right? So you can see mine. It is here. I did get my 40 out of 40. After doing that, you'll notice on the other days, it'll say 0 out of 40, but I did get my rewards for the day just because it did actually start today. So this will be really the first epoch where this will take effect. So if any of you guys did have issues, that's something you want to try, go out for a quick drive and see if that fixes it. Because again, between all the issues going on, tomorrow's rewards might be a little bit bigger, but in reality, not that big of a deal. If it's not working for you still, just keep your eyes peeled for those updates. They will be releasing an update here fairly soon, hopefully, to try to fix those things. And yeah, this is for Android. Seems like Apple's tend to be more stable. That's typically the case, right? Because there's many variations. Like with Android, there's so many skins, so many variations, so many differences between all of them. My phone is a Pixel, right? Which is typically one of the more updated ones. Typically, we tend to get the updates faster. But you can definitely try those things. Maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't. Again, if it doesn't, just wait for the update, right? But just make sure you're checking on it, because I know I don't check on it too often. Maybe once a week I'll log in there just to see, just to claim the rewards. You get once a week you can claim your rewards. So luckily I did happen to see it. So yeah, guys, another big update also with Helium Mobile. The second Oracle for HIP 103 is going to take effect tomorrow. So we'll be doing another Helium video here in a couple of days just to kind of see the effects, just because that's the main Oracle that I have been waiting for, right? That one's going to drastically change the rewards, so be on the lookout for that one here in the next few days. And if you see a drastic change in your rewards, you're going to know why, right? So let me know in the comments, guys. Let me know how your guys are working. Did that little fix work? Did you make it in time for the epoch? Let me know in the comments, guys. Please comment, like, and subscribe, guys. Thank you for watching, and I am out.